Obviously, TikTok is in the eye of the storm and has also taken the world by storm. How is this geopolitical tug of war impacting current growth? As you see it, how do you think it will impact future growth?
Thanks for having me, Emily. You're right. This company is taking the world by storm. It's something that is beloved by over 100 million Americans that use the app all the time. We're continuing to grow. Our user engagement numbers are incredible. The creators keep coming back. We just created $1 billion, that's billion with a B, creator fund here in the United States to support our creators. And the content on the platform is great. It's fun, it's joyful, and we're doing great, and people are loving it still.
So I know you can't tell us the exact timeline of where you are in a deal, but we are a week away from the president's deadline. What can you tell us about the status? What can you tell us about what TikTok is looking for in a suitor and whether Microsoft or Walmart or Oracle embody that?
I can tell you that we're optimistic, and our focus is on our community and our creators and our employees. We have over 1,500 employees here in the United States. We've been growing really rapidly with employees in a lot of states that typically don't have tech jobs, like Michigan and Florida and Texas and Tennessee and others. And we plan on hiring another 10,000 employees over the next few years. So our focuses are still on the growth, and our focus still is on the community. And we remain optimistic to be around for years to come.
Which parts of the U.S. business are up for sale? Is it just the users? Is it also the algorithms, which are considered to be really the crown jewel?
Yeah, I can't speak to the specifics of the deal, Emily, but again, the reason I guess there's so much interest in this story in the company is because we have been successful in growing and bringing joy to so many millions of Americans during difficult times. And actually, one thing that people haven't really thought about or focused on too much in the coverage is the impact that we've had on the economy and on small businesses. Hashtags like small business check have hit billions and billions of views here in the US, with many small businesses coming to the platform to reach more customers and growing. And we're seeing a lot of different stories from businesses that are now using the platform to grow during difficult and uncertain economic times.
As you say, difficult and uncertain economic times. Are you concerned about the economic impact if the president does succeed in potentially banning the platform, if a deal isn't done, given how many business owners and young people across the country are using this platform?
Yeah, I mean, listen, I'm an optimist. As I mentioned, we remain optimistic, but certainly the worst case scenario would be unfortunate for, as I mentioned, the 100 million plus Americans that love the platform and use it every day, and the small businesses that are relying on TikTok, and our employees and the future employees in so many different states across the country. And so there would be a major impact. But again, we're focusing on the positive and plan on doing what's best for our community.
Now, that said, Michael, there are a lot of questions about what TikTok and ByteDance's relationship with the Chinese government actually is. What is TikTok doing to win approval from Beijing, given that it seems the Chinese government is going to exert some sort of influence over the deal? And how do you balance two opposing governments?
Well, we certainly find ourselves in very interesting geopolitical times, and the situation between the U.S. and China and the global economy where we sit today is a difficult one. And as a private company that is just looking to bring entertaining content, as I mentioned, TikTok is not available in China. I think a lot of people are not aware of that. And look, we're trying to stay out of geopolitics the best we can, and focus on the business and focus on the creators and the users. But certainly the macroeconomic and macro political climate is a challenging one at the moment.
I know you're really involved in TikTok's Transparency and Accountability Center, and for all of the joys that TikTok has brought its users, there's also criticisms that it doesn't necessarily play to the best parts of our humanity. What are your priorities, especially going into what's bound to be a very contentious U.S. election?
Yeah, it's an important question. Many technology companies, internet companies have been criticized over the last few years by not being that transparent or accountable. And we're looking to go a step further. And that's why we created this Transparency and Accountability Center, where we've already had government visitors virtually, since obviously the physical center needs to remain closed because of COVID. But we plan on bringing in policymakers and showing an unprecedented behind the scenes look at the algorithm, how the source code works, let them look at that, talk about our content moderation policies, how content goes on the platform, how and what we're removing, and how the cybersecurity practices, privacy, all those kinds of things that policymakers are so interested in, not just about TikTok, but for all platforms. And we want to set the standard for transparency and accountability for all platforms.
A few months back, TikTok users were part of a plot that basically sabotaged one of President Trump's rallies in Tulsa, Oklahoma. What are you doing to combat misinformation ahead of the election, whether or not you agree with the politics of the motivations?
Well, the president's campaign said that that wasn't a factor in the rally. But that aside, TikTok is not the first place that people come to for political content. It's more for entertainment and less political content. But we don't allow political ads. As one, I think we were the first platform to say that we won't take political advertisements on the platform. But our content moderation teams, they work vigorously and vigilant every single day on removing mis and disinformation, particularly on COVID, on election information. And so we've done a really good job of taking that off. But that's something, again, that we want to be transparent about. We've released transparency reports, have another one coming up, where we'll also include information about COVID removals for mis and disinformation about the virus. And also, we've been working very closely in partnership with Department of Homeland Security to ensure there's no foreign interference on the platform or mis and disinformation about the election.
Now, TikTok has sued the U.S. government, challenging what the administration is trying to do here. Could this all change if Biden wins the election? Does that throw this all through a loop? And what are the chances that ultimately TikTok doesn't have to do anything? No deal, but no ban either.
Yeah, I can't speak to our legal strategy, but we are working in good faith and constructively with the government on this, and it's not something that we're viewing in a political way.